Hello, I'm Dr. Jeff Hardy. I'm a Senior Research Fellow at the Grantham Institute at Imperial College London. I work on energy policy and regulation, energy market design, and innovation in energy business models. I used to work at the energy regulator for Great Britain. This course is designed to provide you with a foundation of the key policies, regulations, and issues to create a pro-renewables electricity environment. I'm starting from the premise you are already convinced this is a good thing to do. This module covers how you can do this by providing a menu of options for creating a pro-renewable electricity environment. If you don't feel you are yet fully convinced, then you can find out much more about the case for renewable electricity elsewhere in the course. Also, there is a course that explores the challenges and solutions for integrating renewable electricity into the grid. By the end of this course, you should be able to do at least 4 things. First, understand how policy and regulation can create a pro-renewables environment. Second, analyse the suitability of different mechanisms and approaches for incentivising renewables deployment. Third, evaluate the drivers for businesses in the renewable electricity supply chain and how this relates to the policy and regulatory environment. And finally, understand, through case studies, how pro-renewable environments have been created elsewhere. This course has 4 modules. You can explore these in any order, although I recommend going through them sequentially. The first explores the importance of setting meaningful targets and policy objectives for renewable electricity. Setting targets is important because it identifies renewable electricity as a national priority. It is also an opportunity to align targets with other policy objectives, like developing local renewable electricity businesses. It will also consider perverse policies and incentives that act against renewable electricity deployment, such as subsidies on fossil fuel generation. The second examines the actors in the renewable electricity supply chain. If you want to deploy renewable electricity generation, you need a supply chain to build it, connect it to the grid, and purchase power from it and deliver it to customers. You might also need someone to finance these investments, ideally at a cost acceptable to the consumers who ultimately pay. Here we will examine who the supply chain actors are and what they want from the policy and regulatory environment to deliver renewable electricity generation at reasonable cost. The third outlines regulatory and pricing policies to incentivise renewable electricity deployment across multiple scales. The approaches to incentivising renewables vary depending on how much renewables are on your system and at what scale you're seeking to deploy them. For example, simple feed-in tariffs have proven very effective at stimulating deployment at multiple scales, but are sensitive to setting the level of the tariff correctly. The final module examines non-regulatory approaches to support renewable electricity. These include tax breaks, grants, loans, and also voluntary approaches that empower communities and businesses to make informed choices about power generation and consumption. Throughout the course, you can find supplementary information and case studies that support the key principles.